Hello everyone. Uh, so this is an additional video lecture for the in-class programming task that we had for Sunday, and the class that many of you missed, and so we had the same task again in our Tuesday class. So I noticed especially one section, I think nobody was able to finish it. The other section, uh, many people were making a number of mistakes, or at least were hard coding too many values. So I'm going to show you how to what I was expecting you do. So this was the task that I gave you for both classes. Let me switch over. Okay. So okay, so we have a task here. First off, I asked you to perform a couple of operations on the string, and in the second part, I asked you to perform just a few operations on a StringBuilder object. So let's begin with the string part. So I gave you a string, this specific one. Um, see. Again, in order to save some time, I won't be typing everything. I'll copy paste some stuff from code that I already have. So create a string S, CPCS202 programming 1, and the first task was actually quite simple. Um, First few tasks are quite simple. Replace the two m's in here by a single m. So you can just use the replace method for that. And if you run that, you can see without any problem, uh, end up with only a single m. So that was the first task. The second task was to, I'm sorry, not this. Um, Second task was to replace the all the spaces in the string with a dash character. Do that also with the replace method, and this is what our string looks like after that. And then I asked you to have this modified string and perform a second operation on it. And that is, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to uh, call replace like I did before, and after that I asked you to split up the string at every place, find a dash, and I'm going to call the split method on that. The result will be an array of strings, which I'm storing in an array of strings SA, and obviously I want to see what's in that, so I am going to print those out. So I have a for loop over here which goes from 0 to the length of the string array SA. Just print out each element of that string array. That's it. And the output is this. So CPC is 202, separated by a dash, programming, separated by a dash, 1. 3 tokens. Each of these these substrings of this string S, uh, each of these is called a token. So just put in a blank line after that, and let's move on. Then I asked you to print the substring from location 9 to 15. Now I'm giving you whatever the string is, whatever's at character location 9 to 15. I want you to print that out. So these two values, 9 and 15, you can hard code those. Okay. Um, so that's actually also quite easy. You just use the substring method. We provide two arguments, starting location to end location, 9 to 15. Next, I ask you to transform S to all lowercase characters, and right after that to all uppercase characters. So that's also straightforward, to lowercase and to similarly to uppercase. Call these two methods and this job is done. CPCS122 lowercase p programming 1, or when you call to uppercase CPCS202 programming in all uppercase 1. So you can see this is going fairly quickly. Now we come to the first part where everyone got stuck. I don't think anyone got this right. So I asked you here to replace the second occurrence of C with an A. So there are basically two problems here. First you have to know where the second C in the string is located, and then you replace it. Then you make a new string that contains an A instead of the location of that C. So question is, how do we find the second C? Here's the thing that I wanted you to figure out. What we basically do is, I'll type this out so I can slow down and you can follow along. So what we're going to do is I am going to okay. So you remember that strings have this one method called index of. Okay. So for example, I can call this, and let me put this whole thing, everything I do, I can put this in print line method so you can see what's happening. So if I call index of on string S with argument C, this will give me the location of the first character C, capital C, in string S. String S is still this one up here. Now this is not what I want. I want the second C. Now remember, there's another variant of the index of method in which I can give a second argument, and that second argument is the start location from where in a string I start searching for whatever character I provide over here. So I know I found the location of the first character C. So if I start looking from the next location after that, index of will give me the location of the second C character. So what I can do is I can simply insert, I can provide as argument, I can say, you know what, first find character C, find the location of that, and from the next location, start looking from the next location. 2, again, search for character C. So this will give me the location of the second C in the string. Let's see if that is actually the case. There you go. So the second C occurs over here, which is location index location 2. And now we have that. Now what I'm going to do is, instead of just printing it out, I am going to take this I'm going to save this in an integer called second C, which now has the location of where the second C in the string is located. And remember, what I ultimately want to do is, the problem I'm given is to replace the second C with an A. That's what I'm going to do. And how am I going to do that? Actually, quite straightforward. Again, let's do all of this print line command. Quite straightforward. I'm going to concatenate 3 strings. The first, and I'm going to get each one using the substring method called on StringS. The first one is the substring starting from the beginning all the way to where the second C character is. And I'm going to replace it or insert an A. And then I'm going to continue on from after the C all the way to the end, s dot length, the end of the string s. That should work. There you go. CPCS122 has now become CPAS. The second C has been replaced by an A. And so I did this in, as you can see, I did this in 2 lines of code to keep it somewhat readable. If I wanted to, I could have just inserted this whole expression everywhere I have, in the 2 places I have second C in the next line, but that would make it really awkward and unreadable. So instead, I'm just going to do this. Okay, so hopefully that keeps it more readable. So 2 lines of code, could have even done it in 1 line, but it is perhaps more readable. Okay, and see this kind of thinking again for the next task I gave you. Find the location of the last occurrence of 2 and replace it with a 3. Now this is a slightly easier task because very conveniently we already have a method called last index of that is part of the string class, and that will give me the location of the last 2 in this string, which happens to be this one over here. So wherever that 2 is, okay. Actually, let me. There you go. Okay, so I just want to show you something. What's the advantage of doing things this way? So let's say the string changes to something else. The location of the C is now someplace else. The same code will continue to work. You see, now it changed. The second C is still the one following all those P's. It's now in a different location, but the code still does its job. It's much more robust to changes. So you could actually put this, if you needed it, you could actually put this in a method and it would work for just about any, for any string. Okay, so for the next task, we just found the location of the last two occurring in the string. Just going to copy paste this stuff because it's again and easy. So now that I know where that digit 2 is, I'm going to do the same thing I did before. I'm going to um, get the substring of before the last two. I'm going to insert a 3, and then I'm going to add the substring from the last two onwards all the way to the end of the string. I'm going to put these three strings, I'm going to concatenate these three strings together, and what I end up with is this. You can see that the last two has been replaced by a 3. Again, um, the way this has been done, I could change this string around. I could put other stuff in here, and this would still work. See, 2 replaced by 3. As you can see, I've not hard-coded anything that I did not task that does not demand to be hard-coded. Okay, this, put a new line character here, and then we had some easy stuff after that. Basically, find the location of the substring prog. No problem. You just use the index of method at index location 9, and similarly the location for substring string Ccai. Now this does not occur anywhere in this string, so the return value is a -1. This is what I wanted you to see. Okay. And that was all the tasks I asked for related to operations on that string. Then we had only 4 more steps, 4 more things to do, but these were on a StringBuilder object. So just calling this one, making this a StringBuilder object SB. To create it, I have to call the StringBuilder class's constructor, and I have to provide, I'm providing the string I want to initialize it with, the text I want to initialize it. I'm providing that in the argument to the constructor. Okay. Okay, first step was very easy. I just asked you to append the string AI at the end. Print that out as well. And you can see what I get is CPCS121 Introduction to AI. Now you can see there's no space between 2 and AI. There should be a space, I guess. So, let's see. But first, I'll give something else to do. Replace CPCS with CCAI. Now again, something that many of you did was you just hard-coded the location of the string CPCS. A better way of doing it is to first find the starting location of string CPCS. So, proper way to do it, call index of on the StringBuilder class and search for CPCS. See if that actually works, and yes, of course it does. CPCS occurs right at the beginning. We know that. You can see that. Okay. There you go. Okay. So what we do is I'm going to use the replace method for the replace method in the string builder object, you have to provide a starting location, which is the starting location we just found of the CPCS string, an end location, which is the starting location of the CPCS string plus the length of the CPCS string, and the string, third argument, is the string we want to replace it with. In this case, Ccai, and we want to see that on screen, so I'm putting this in a print line method. Let's see what this does is it replaces CPCS with Ccai, just as we wanted it to. Okay. Next, I asked you to insert a space between 2 and AI, and I can do that using the insert method. I can find the location of OA, where the two occur together, using the index of method +1, because index of will give me the starting location of, so the location of the O. I want to insert space between these two, so I have to add 1 to the location. Okay, so the space to go in between. So index of will give me the location of this character O, and I want the insertion to happen 1 character after that, between the O and the A. Okay, done with that. And last one, so should be familiar by now. What I asked you to do is replace AI by the string artificial intelligence. So I realized a little later that the string builder that object that we have contains text that contains AI in 2 places. What I really intended was to ask you to replace the last AI, the AI at the end, to expand that into its full form, artificial intelligence. So I'm just going to show you that over here. So basically, I search for the location of space followed by AI. Once we have that, so starting from that location, all the way to that location plus the length of the new string I'm trying to insert, or I'm trying to replace over here, space artificial intelligence dot length, and then the string itself. And there you go. I end up with CCAI 101, Introduction to Space Artificial Intelligence. As you can see, strings that we worked with this time were all course names and course codes. Okay, yeah, so that was basically it. And yeah, so even if you were not able to finish this task in class like many others, I urge you to repeat this, try this on your own, in your own time. So I'll upload it. I realize this has been, together with the explanations, this has been quite extensive. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to upload another short topic for tomorrow's class for you to go through. And I'll see you all tomorrow.